What's up, Chris? How are you, buddy? What's up, guys? Chris Chef Sports Cards here. We are doing 2022 Topps Pro Debut, third hobby case break number 3. Welcome. We might have a few teams available. I'm waiting to see if this person pays in the next minute. If not, I'm going to cancel their order and put the teams up if anyone's interested. Doesn't look like payment's coming. I really wish I understood people who bid and get a kick out of not paying. Just don't get that. All right, hold on one sec. Johnny, what's up, bud? All right, guys. So the Oakland A's are available and the Dodgers are available if anyone's interested. That's my PayPal there. If not, no big deal. But if anyone's interested in those two teams, they are available. We have a non-payer, somebody who gets a kick out of bidding on teams and not paying. So anyway, what's up, guys? Chris Chef Sports Cards here. We're doing 2022 Topps Pro Debut, third hobby case break number 3. Welcome. If you are new to the channel, especially welcome. A little bit about us. Been around for 5 years now. We break mostly baseball, a little bit of everything else mixed in. We ship all cards from every break. We're very generous with the top loading, and we ship as quickly as we can, usually within a day or so of the break. If you are new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. All right, Chris. Thanks, buddy. Sorry, as I was saying, if you are new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. We do free breaks, and when we do them, we use our subscriber list from YouTube for the random. In fact, we're about to do one on the 14th of October. So you couldn't get in on this one, but if you make sure you're publicly subscribed, the next one we do, your name will be in that random, and who knows, maybe you'll grab a spot in that one, or the one after that, or the one after that. So worth it to hit the old subscribe button there. Okay, thanks, Rich. Oakland is Rich. Sorry, I'm trying to write and talk and walk and chew gum at the same time. Also, our website, chefsportscards.com. Well, Dwayne, I appreciate it, but Rich already took them, so sorry, bud. Usually, if it's the case, you just pay me through PayPal instead. What was I just saying? Oh, the website, chefsportscards.com. We got tons of stuff up over there. Prism, Topps Chrome, Series 2 Bowman Megas or Bowman Jumbos. So every break we do over there, we give away a box of Series 2 Blaster, looking for short prints in there. And then when we do a full sellout, we'll give away a box of Clearly Authentic. Prices are dirt cheap, about as cheap as I can make them, plus some free boxes, all kinds of other free fun stuff. So head on over to chefsportscards.com and grab a spot or two today. All right, let's go over the teams. D-backs, Michael A., Braves, Keith L., Orioles, Daniel O., Red Sox, Paul O., Cubs, Alex P., White Sox, Davis G., Reds, Taylor W., Guardians, Dan O., Rockies, Sean C., Tigers, Alex P., Royals, Emily R., Astros, Jimmy G., Angels, Alex P., Dodgers, Chris F., Brewers, John T., and Twins, Chris F., Marlins, Joe K., Mets, Rich L., Yankees, Corey F., A's, Rich L., Phillies, Michael M., Pirates, Bo H., Cardinals, Tammy U., Padres and Giants, Michael M., Mariners and Rays, Jason H., Rangers, Tammy U., Blue Jays, Derek R., and Nationals, Michael M. Yes, I did, John. I just opened it like 15 minutes ago. Thank you very much. I will give it away during the free break. I appreciate that, bud. This is very cool. Yeah, I'll definitely give it away. It'll be fun. I got to come up with some interesting Brewers trivia to give it away. So I'm gonna have to start looking. But thank you, John. I appreciate it, bud. All righty, let's get to it. My dangling bracelet. Okay. All right, guys. Pro Debut Hobby. We love Pro Debut. It's awesome. We are doing jumbos this week. For the rest of the week, I think Thursday. I think Thursday and Saturday we're doing jumbos, and Sunday we're doing another hobby. So if you are interested in liking Pro Debut, we got plenty more coming down the pike. You guys have to excuse me. I'm freaking exhausted. I've been up since 2:45 this morning. Mother business has been nuts lately, which is a good thing. It's not a bad thing. It just is exhausting. All right. Let's see what we can find tonight. Got to get it to be somewhere in the... We were sorting cards earlier. We were sorting the that chrome break from the other night. The thing was insane. Ooh, for the Cardinals, Nolan Gorman, orange, 6 of 25. For the Cardinals, Tammy. Here you go. Nice one. I gotta do something about this microphone. Sal with ink. I got you. It's so funny. We're sorting Pro Debut with the kid who works for me, Jonah. He was ready to lose his mind. He had no idea. And I warned him about it like last week. I said, listen, he's never done a minor league product before. Volpe, brick by brick. I said, listen, we're going to be doing minor league next week and a lot of minor league teams. I said, about half the cards have, like it'll say, the Iowa Cubs or this or that. So those are easy. But the other half, not so much. He was ready to tear his hair out. Vivas. That is for the Dodgers. Jorbit Vivas for the Great Lake Loons. And that is gold to 50. 4 of 50 for the Doyers. Chris, there you go. Good pickup in the chat. No, well, it is. Ellis, how are you, buddy? Thanks for joining us. It is for companies. A lot of people are back. It certainly seems like this when school started up, a lot more people started coming back. A lot of them are still on hybrid schedules. Like most of the offices, like in the office park where my main kitchen is, and our main cafe, most people are on that like kind of Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday thing. Mondays and Fridays are usually okay. We've been doing a ton of medical offices lately. So I don't know if there's a reason behind that, but the problem with doing, well, first off, Khalil Watson draftee debut. One of the reasons we've always been successful as a catering company is we do a hot breakfast, and not a lot of catering companies do. Like a lot of catering companies do bagels and continental breakfast and juice and yogurts and that type of stuff. But we actually do we offer all kinds of hot breakfast, and people like that. But the only thing it's a real pain in is some of these, like we have some hospitals that order from us. Oh my God, they order at the most ungodly hours. Like they want the food delivered at like 5 in the morning. So you got to get in there at like 2:30 and start cooking eggs. It's like, Jesus. I've even thought about putting a limit on how early you could get an order. Jay Allen for the Reds. There you go. Nice one there. Reds is Taylor. There you go, buddy. I've even thought about saying like, look, no deliveries before like 6:30 or something like that because it gets ridiculous, how early some of them are, but it's good. I also recently, although I'm kind of regretting it now, so our big energy company around here is called Pico, and Pedro Leon Brick by Brick. I've done a lot of work for them in the past. We were their emergency caterer, they used to call us. So anytime there was like a weather emergency, when everybody else is home or this or that, Pico has to call in all these people because of outages and whatever. And we would get these insane orders from them, like last minute, like, we need dinner for 120 people in like 2 hours, that kind of thing. Carson Williams for the Rays. And it was always really good money. And of course, we used to kind of charge them a bit of a premium too, for the last minute kind of orders. It's for Jason. You go, nice Williams. So actually, Rich will know exactly where this is. Rich, in Plymouth Meeting behind Cracker Barrel, they have that big Pico like training station there. There's a whole like training ground with transformers and pretty much anything you can think of that they train guys. So they've asked us to start catering for these 2-week training sessions that they do. And the money's very good. I think we did breakfast and lunch for 2 weeks. It was like $16,000, but I haven't been paid, which is pissing me off. Anthony Volpe for the Yanks. There's a big name. 158 of a 199. And now it's been like a month since we got paid. And my partner is supposed to be handling it. I don't know how well. He doesn't seem to be handling it very well. And now they want us to do it again. And I'm like, not until I get paid for last time, like it seems a little counterproductive to like turn them down, but I don't lay out that kind of money without getting paid. So I don't know. So we'll see. What's up, Paul? How you doing, buddy? So it's just, it's definitely been busier. More people are definitely back at work. It's still nowhere near what it used to be, but it's definitely a lot better. And everything's always last minute. That's the big problem. It's always, you go in and you have 2 catering, and by, 2 hours later, you have 6 and 8 and 10, which, again, I shouldn't be complaining about, but it just gets tiring. Not as young as I used to be. Tristan Cassis, Brick by Brick. I'd rather sit here and open cards for you guys. Them run around like a maniac. Is that where you work, right? Yeah, yeah. Well, they have that other right down the street from there too. They have uh, a big building there. That's where they come when they have like the emergency stuff. So uh, I don't. I get like real antsy when people owe us that kind of money because I've had people in the past where we've done big jobs for, and that takes you months to get paid. And it doesn't matter how big. It doesn't matter that they're a multi-billion-dollar company. They'll, if they can get away without paying you for even a day, they will. Trey Sweeney draftee debut. Trianos. Yeah, right on Allenwood Road. Yep. And my partner John, as well intentioned as he is, he doesn't do any of the work. So he just like books and then changes menus and does this and does that. It's like I want to friggin' choke them sometimes. Like we go out and get all the food for a party and then come back and go, oh, they need to change the menu. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna kill you. You're making it harder than it has to be. Wes Kath for the White Sox. For Davis. There you go, buddy. So, anyway, I mean, again, it's a good problem to have. It's just I also have no help whatsoever. I have nobody to work. It is insane. It's me and this guy Mike, who's worked for me for years, and my business partner, and that's it. It's like the three of us, and I have placed ads and placed ads and placed ads, and I can't get anybody to even apply. It's so nuts. It used to be when, like, back before the pandemic, if I placed an ad, I would get hundreds of people who would apply for the job. Even they'd have no experience, they didn't care. Just and now I can't get a single person to apply. And I it can't. I know it's not the money. I'm offering a lot of money for what I'm asking to do. And the beauty of my place is it's a kitchen job where there's no nights and no weekends. Like you don't find a lot of those around. But I don't like I understood during the pandemic when people were getting checks from the government and unemployment and everything. I don't understand how people are living now because I'm not the only one having this issue. Everybody I know who's in the business who owns restaurants and places are all telling me the same thing. They can't find people to work. They just can't even get people to apply. And for the Rockies, Benny Montgomery Gold to 50. Numbered 1 of 50. Numeral uno. Rockies at Sean. There you go, buddy. So it's a far cry from what my company used to be. Before the pandemic, we had 9 locations. I had like 112 employees. Now it's one place and 3 of us, and really 2 of us doing all the work, killing ourselves. But yeah, you make do with what you got, I guess. Piguero brick by brick. And no nights. Where do I apply? I'm telling you, man. Come to Philly. I'll give you a job. I'm offering like 25 an hour. Alexander Mojico for the Pirates. I tell you what, if I could just find somebody, a dishwasher to clean and help keep the place tidy, my life would be 100 times easier. Because I work with 2 of the biggest slobs on the planet. I swear. Like, the one is just, oh God, is so bad. Like, even when he cleans something, it's still dirty. That type of person. And my business partner, he's just lazy. Pittsburgh was Bo on the Alexander Mojico. So not only do I have to do all this, I have to pick up and clean up after these 2 idiots that I work with. Yeah, I don't blame her. I wouldn't want to move either. Not at this point in my life. It's funny. My wife and I have been talking about when my son goes to college, moving. I would much prefer to live in a condo. Frelick draftee debut, with the doorman and a pool and gym and all that, and she would too. Just so I can stop taking care of the lawn and doing all that. So I can't bring myself to pay someone to mow my lawn. It's just like against my wiring, you know. Um, but the only thing I keep thinking of is, God damn, I'd have to actually move. Like, just the fact that I'd have to pack this place up after living here for 15, 20 years. Batty brick by brick. Like, I do not look forward to that at all. But there's outside of the city, well, again, Rich will know where I'm talking about. There's an area called King of Prussia, which many of you may have heard of. The largest retail mall in the world is in King of Prussia, Pennsylvania. So the largest mall in the world is that monstrosity out in Minnesota, or that new one up in New Jersey, maybe. I don't know if that new one in Jersey is bigger. But they have like ice rinks and ski mountains and amusement parks in them. This King of Prussia is just straight retail, and it's like the biggest monstrosity you've ever seen in your life. It's ridiculous. But right near there, they have built all these new condos. Jorbit Vivas again for the Dodgers. Braves just clinched the NL East. That's crazy. I mean, how long were the Mets in first place? Like, uh, that's got to hurt you some there, Rich. I mean, they were in first place like the entire year. But yeah, in this area, they've built all these new condos and stuff. They're very nice, and they have this place called the Town Center there, which I'm sure everybody has one of these now. It's kind of like an outdoor shopping and restaurant. It's really nice. So we're looking at buying a place up there next year. Uh, for Boston, Lou Pink, numbered 112 of 199. It's still the biggest retail. What I was saying was that, what's the name of that new place in Jersey with the ski mountain in it and all that craziness? It took them like 25 years to build it. Austin is Paul. There you go, buddy. Um, something Americas or something like that. Place is pretty big too, but that's because it's got like an amusement park and all kinds of crazy stuff for it. Ooh, look at that. My hands aren't working. Fumble. King of Prussia. I stay away from that place as much as possible. The mall up there. I worked there for a long time. I was the chef at Sullivan Steakhouse up there for a while. And after you experience one holiday season at the King of Prussia Mall in Pennsylvania, you will never want to go near another mall again. Yeah, that's true. Your Brewers didn't. The Phillies locked it down last night, huh? They were celebrating like they won the World Series or something. Diego Cartaya, brick by brick. And don't get me wrong, it's been 11 years since, 11, I think. Yeah, 11 years since the Phillies have been in the playoffs. And I was happy for them, but they were celebrating like they won the World Series. I'm like, guys, you barely backed your way into the 6 hole, and you're going to get ripped apart by whoever you play because you're playing so bad. Oh, there you go. Jordan Lawler. Nice one for the D-backs. For Michael. There you go, buddy. That's a good one. I mean, unless unless the Phillies all of a sudden turn something on, I don't see them getting past. Who are they even going to play in the first round? Who's the 3 seed? Is it the Cardinals? No. They have to play the 3 seed, right? Because they're the 6, isn't it? I think so. I have to look. Been there 6 times. I don't blame you, dude. I've said this before. First of all, and this is I'm not gonna lie. As I get older, I mean, for lack of a better term, I'm just becoming a bigger wuss as I get older. And I am convinced that that mall is in line for being attacked somehow. Lawler drafty debut, and that's a horrible thing to say, but it worries me. Like, again, this mall is so big and there's so many people there that if, one of these crazy people out there that we've been dealing with in this country wants to take some people out, King of Prussia Mall would be a very big target for someone. And I think about that. I'm like, I don't need to go there. You know? See, when I was a kid, I grew up in a town called Springfield, Pennsylvania. Well, there's like 15 Springfields in Pennsylvania, as there is in every state. But I grew up in a town called Springfield in Delaware County, Pennsylvania. And years before we had all these crazy shooter people that we have these days, Luis Gonzalez for the Orioles, for Daniel, we had a shooting at our mall by a woman of all things, which I don't say that to sound sexist or anything. It's just you never hear of a woman doing these things. Her name was Sylvia Segrist. And she walked into the Springfield Mall, which was a quarter of a mile from my house. And I was in the mall that day. I was downstairs. I wasn't anywhere near where the shooting went on, but I was downstairs. And I was a kid. I was like 12 or 13 years old. Me and my buddies were there, and someone pulled us into the back room of one of the stores. I thought we were about to be like, worked over or something. And this woman walked in up on the second story and pulled out a gun and started open fire. And she killed 6 people, I think, injured another like 6 or something, and until someone tackled her. And this was back when these things hardly ever happened. The only time you heard about shootings like that were at like the post office. Remember, like going postal and all that kind of stuff like that, but not like it is now with all this craziness in the last 20 years or whatever. And so like I said, I was in the mall that day. It was the day before Halloween when it happened. And it's hard to get out of your head, especially now the way things are these days. Like, you look at a place like King of Prussia Mall and you're like, hey, like, I don't need to go there. Park at, go to Target. There's carjackings all the time. Huh. Wait, I'm sorry. I'm looking at the screen, not looking at the cards. Andy Rodriguez for the Pirates. Number 163 of 199. I'm sorry. Look, we live in a time where I walk into a Walmart or a Target or something. I'm looking over my shoulder when I'm walking in the place. I'm one of those type of people anyway who always kind of, that's for Bo, looks around at people like I'm kind of a looker, Like, thank God I don't have a jealous wife, because I look at every woman that like passing me. Not because I have to. It's just like in my blood. I can't help it, But like, I walk into a place like that, I'm always looking over my shoulder. I can't help it these days, It's freaky. You have active training. Yeah, God, so the last time I was actually at King of Prussia, brick by brick, I actually was teaching a class at many of you guys may know this company. It's called Sur La Table. It's a housewares company, and they do cooking classes there. And I was a teacher at there is a Tyler Black for the Carolina Mudcats, aka the Milwaukee Brewers. My man John. There you go, buddy. I was a teacher at the restaurant school in Philadelphia. This is before I owned the company that I own now. And it was kind of my way of starting to, well, it was when I started backing out of restaurant kitchens. Like, I was just getting too old and beat up for it. And I don't know if any of you have ever attended a class at Sur La Table, but they're cool. They're these just cool cooking classes. So anyway, I used to go up there and teach some classes for them every once in a while. And the second day I was up there, I had to have active shooter training. And I was like, oh, God, what am I doing? And this was, I mean, it wasn't that long ago. It was maybe 7, 8 years ago. And I just remember sitting there going through the training and being like, I can't believe this. Like, what am I doing? So it's, I don't know how much training's really involved. Like, you know, get your head down and get out of the way. Harry Ford draftee debut. A different world, my friends. It is a different world. That's for sure. The crazy thing is, like, not that I want to keep talking about this subject, but there's a guy on YouTube who does documentaries. He's a British guy. I don't know who he is, but he's done quite a few documentaries on kind of like these big shootings that have happened. But he's done it on the actual like shooter, like who they were, how they grew up, you know, so on and so forth. And I watched a couple of them. I watched one on the guy from Colorado and the kid from Sandy Hook. And like the one thing that is very commonplace in all of them is they're all crazy, and people knew they were crazy years before they did this. Like it could have been averted. Luciano, Brick by Brick. But like we don't have the facilities now that we used to have back in the 70s and 80s, 60s, 70s and 80s to, like, for lack of a better term, house or put some of these people where they need to be. You know what I mean? And that's, you know, it really is a shame because, especially the one about the guy in Colorado, Joe Mack for the Marlins. For Joe. I mean, he made it very clear that he just was homicidal. He just wanted to kill people. You know, like, and he was seeing shrinks and this and that. They knew he was nuts. Like, I mean, the guy was like almost like self-admitting this, like long before he ever did it. It's like, well, we need someplace to put this dude. I mean, I don't know what else to do, you know, like, you know, we used to have, I mean, it's still there, but it's not used for Haverford State Hospital, which was, I mean, for lack of a better term, a mental asylum. Darren Baker for the Nationals, Dusty's boy. And those places aren't around anymore like they used to be, you know. For Michael, there you go, buddy. Well, yeah, John, I kind of feel the same way, dude. I don't know that I have the fight in me either. I mean, obviously, if you know, you know, case by case basis, I suppose. But yeah, I kind of feel the same way you do. Like I remember that situation in when I was a kid, and it's funny. It's not funny, but I can see them all in my mind, like how it used to be laid out. And there was like hell was the name of that store? Merry-Go-Round. Remember Merry-Go-Round? Colton Cowser, 145 over 199 for the Orioles. Daniel. And when this woman went past her, a guy came out and tackled her, and that's how it ended the shooting, you know? And I mean, thank God for that guy. You know what I mean? Like, again, this is in a time where, you know, I think nowadays, especially after our last 20 plus years, 9/11 and this and that, like, I certainly can't imagine that anyone would be dumb enough to try and hijack a plane in this country again, like they did, because you know full well anybody on that plane is just going to attack them the second they try it. Like, it's kind of like, well, if we're going down. You know what I mean? We're taking this thing down. You're not taking anyone else. And I think that's how most people in this country feel. And that's why I think something like that would probably never happen again in this country, because the second they tried to take it over, I think people just, bum rush him. Reginald Preciado, numbered 66 of 99. I teach active shooter training for work. 10 years ago, people would laugh at us now. Sadly, everyone pays attention. I'll bet they do. I know I would be. The scary thing about these, and this is not a criticism on law enforcement or anyone else for that matter. And yeah, I realize the Texas thing was handled really badly. But I'm trying to think of the best way to say this. I would think at this point, with the amount of experience with this we have in this country, that these situations would be somehow handled better. And I'm not saying many of them aren't, but things always still seem so, I don't want to say hectic because obviously they'd be hectic, but like, I don't know. I don't even really know exactly what I'm trying to explain, but like after all these years and all these issues and all these times this has happened in such horrid ways, like we still don't respond or have the greatest response to these things. I mean, look, as far as guns go, I have a whole theory on that. I think everyone should just be issued a 6-shooter at birth. That's all that's available. I mean, the big problem are these, and again, I'm not a gun person, but I feel people have every right to have them. I suppose within reason, I would say, because some of these guns these days are like idiot proof, like that's the big problem here is, I mean, if the same guy walked into a place with a handgun, you wouldn't kill 10% of the people. It's just anyone can shoot those things, but I don't know. I just feel like things could handle better for Washington. 12 of 25 for Michael. Now, anyway, how do we get on this? We shouldn't even be on this topic. We should talk about cards and sports. I'm sorry. I don't know why it took us down this road. Let's get back to talking about how the Mets fell apart and the Braves won. And even though the Phillies tried to give it away to the Brewers just didn't want it. They didn't want it bad enough, I guess. What's his name? Actually broke the record tonight. Judge, right? He hit his 62nd tonight. So Pujols is sitting at what, 703, right? As of last night. What do you think? Should he come back for another year? See what he can do? Cowser draftee debut. I mean, the guy's like 60 years old. What's one more year going to do to him? What is the record now? That's what I was trying to remember, what the actual year home run record is in like what the total is. I know there's only 4 people have hit over 700 at this point, but I couldn't remember off the top of my head what the record is. Because honestly, with the way he's been hitting them the last month or so, maybe he should try and juice up a contract for one more year and go for it. Like, there's somebody out there who could use him as a DH, I'm sure. Alexander Ramirez for the Angels. 763, is that the number? Oh, McNeil did take it over. Well, McNeil's been there all year. I like Jeff McNeil a lot. He's like a quiet, good player. Like you don't bring him up or talk about him very much. His batting average is always up there. You think so, Rich? I honestly haven't seen any of them. Like I haven't watched them. You'd think they're giving them to him, getting them over 700. That's like when what's his name broke the sack record. Do you guys remember that? Strahan, and it was against the Green Bay Packers, and Favre just like basically took a dive to let him get the sack. Like it was so pathetic. Like Brett Favre is not an actor by any stretch of the imagination. Angel Martinez. Angel Martinez is Cleveland, right? Is that Cleveland, the Lynchburg Hillcat? I think so. You don't think he'll be back? It's got to stick in his head. I mean, he'd have to hit 60. That's not going to happen. But wasn't that Strahan? Was it Strahan and Favre, wasn't it, with that whole thing? I think it was. I think that's Dan. I'm pretty sure that's Cleveland. I have to double check that one. Or 755, yeah. It's a hell of an accomplishment, man. I mean, to hit 700 home runs in a career like that, I mean, that's... and I mean, I know he's had a long career, but even just the consistency to do that, you know what I mean? To hit however many on average a year. I don't know what exactly is average. Yeah, Favre took a dive, right? I remember that like it was yesterday. It's like, dude, you could have made that look a little bit better. That's all right, man. My Eagles are soaring, man. Eagles are flying. Number one in the power rankings. Whew, looking good. We'll see. We'll see where it goes from here. There's a long way to go. See, that helped out the Phillies a ton in this town, the way the Eagles have been. Oh, wow, man. Another nice one for Arizona. Corbin Carroll. Two nice autos for the D-backs. Michael, there you go, buddy. If the Eagles weren't playing so well, they would have really been killing the Phillies leading up to this. I mean, I'm glad they made it, but they would have really been on them. So we got Prism coming up next at 10:30. If anybody's in that one. And then we're going to be back Thursday night. What we got on Thursday? Can't even remember now. I think we got more Prism. We have Pro Debut Jumbo. And something else. Deshaun Knowles for the Angels. 54 of 199. Yes, the Eagles look good. The Eagles looked good at the game the other day. It was wet and freezing and horrid, but it was fun to go. And there was a lot more scoring, a lot more action in that game than I thought there was going to be. The weather was so bad. I mean, I watched some of it on replay. The television gave no justice to how bad the weather was there on Sunday. It was like torrential. I can't believe we made it as far as we did, to be honest with you. My son actually gave in. I didn't even want to go. I was trying to get out of it before we even went. I took Checo for Detroit 118 and 150. But then when we finally got there and we were settled in, I was like, all right, well, I'm going to tough it out until he gives. And finally, in the fourth quarter, when they were driving for that last touchdown they had, he was like, if they score here, maybe we should go. I was like, yeah, all right. Like, absolutely, dude. You could have asked me at halftime to leave. I'd have left. I mean, you talk about wet. It was like you had to wring your clothes out. It was so bad. But I expected it. I mean, they did run a lot, but I expected there to be like nothing but running in that game. There actually was a lot of excitement. It was good. Jason Dominguez, brick by brick. And that's the type of stuff. You remember it for that kind of stuff. I really tried. I swear. Like, I got up in the morning And I knew it was going to be bad, but I looked outside and my wife kept looking at me. She's like, I was like, I'm not up for this. I said, I'm not looking forward to this at all. I am a wimp in my old age. And, my son's 17. You know him. He's like, hell yeah, let's go. I'm like, oh, shit. So then I tried to talk him into finding one of his buddies to go, and then I would give him the ticket. And even to the point where we were in my truck, like getting ready to leave, and he was trying to call a few of his friends, and they were either going to the game already or they were asleep or he couldn't. And finally, I just put it in drive and said, screw it, let's just go. For Washington, Brady House Gold, 37 of 50 for Michael. Michael M. See how much Mrs. Matt. Yeah, I didn't. But like I said, the first half was fine. I mean, it was pouring rain, but it was fine. It was fun. It was when halftime hit, that's when things started getting miserable. And you could tell in the crowd, like everybody was miserable. Like halftime, we went up to, go to the bathroom, get a drink, do whatever. And it's like the wind was blowing. That you realized how wet you really were when you actually got inside. Like you could see it on people's faces. They were just like, all right, we got to go. Luckily, I always keep, especially because of my work, I always keep extra clothes in my car. I always have at least a change of clothes in my truck. De La Cruz brick by brick, just because of my work. Sometimes I'm at work for days on end or spill something or whatever, So luckily I had some clothes there so I at least could, get out of some of the wet clothes when we got to the truck because the walk to the truck was the worst. Oh, there you go. Nice blue Tyler Black. 130 of 150 for John. He gets jealous. All right, guys. Last couple packs. So like I was saying, we'll be here Thursday, Saturday, Sunday this week. Bowman Mega on Sunday. We have a 10 boxer. And I don't know if anyone saw, but Bowman Mega just finally sold out on Target. Actually sold out. They've had times where they've been out of product, but now it's actually sold out. So you're going to be limited from here on out. In fact, these are my last 10. I think I have 12 total. So doing 10 on Saturday, along with more Prism and more Pro Debut. And we have on Thursday? Score Football. If anybody's into football, want to chase after Kenny Pickett after his, wonderful performance last week. But we will have some football on Thursday night. And, of course, we got all the stuff on the website. Anything fills there, we'll break it. So break every day this week if you like. Head to chefsportscards.com. All righty, guys. Want to thank everyone for joining us this evening. I do appreciate it. If you are not in the Prism break, please stay safe and stay healthy out there. Okay, so we'll be back later in the week. Hopefully you guys can join us. We do have our free break coming up on the 14th of October at 11 p.m. I decided it's going to be 11 p.m. So we're in the process of confirming and getting people in their spots. So we'll keep working on that all week. And if you didn't watch the video or know if you're in line, check out the video. And if you're not a subscriber, subscribe. So next time around, maybe you'll be in line for a spot. All right, bear with me for a sec. Just putting the heat recap together. Yeah, you work the rainbow. You can work the rainbow here now on old Tyler Black. All right, guys, hit recap for 2022 Topps Pro Debut third hobby case break number 3. Collards. We got the pinks to 199. Deshaun Knowles, Lou Rodriguez, Cowser, and Volpe. To 150 Pacheco. To 99 Preciado. Gold of Benny and House. A couple of good ones there. To 50 And an orange to 25 of Nolan Gorman for the Cardinals. Autographs, base. We got Jay Allen for the Reds. Let's see if we can get him to focus. Here we go. Wes Kath for the White Sox. Carson Williams for the Rays. Vivas for the Dodgers. Mojica for the Pirates. Lawler for the D-backs. Gonzalez for the Orioles. Old Tyler Black for the Brewers. Joe Mack for the Marlins. Darren Baker for the Nationals. Alexander Ramirez for the A's. Angel Martinez for Cleveland, I'm pretty sure. Corbin Carroll for the D-backs. Tyler Black, blue for 130 of 150 for the Brewers. Vivas gold to 50. And then finally, Dalen Lyle, orange to 25 for the Nationals. Hey, Les, what's up, buddy? How you doing? All right, guys, again, thanks so much for joining me. I do appreciate it. We'll be back in about 10 minutes with Prism. We are going to have a couple teams available in that, too, because I had to cancel that guy's Prism stuff, too. So if you're interested, come and check it out. Otherwise, please stay safe, stay healthy. We'll see you later in the week. Bye-bye.